You know what, brothers? It's hard to see it, but winter is coming. And when I say it's hard to see it, I'm really saying like it's hard to see the writing on the wall when you're in the midst of a season. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you go to Giza, right? It's kind of like if you're looking at the tomb of King Tut, you're looking at the sandals and the gold throne and the jewels or whatnot, right? And it's like, man, like this is fascinating. But until someone breaks down the hieroglyphs and gives you a better understanding of the grand scheme of what was taking place overall, you really don't understand what's really happening or what's really going to take place in the future. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, brothers, if you can just look at the walls, man, if you can just look at what's really taking place, I'm telling you, winter is coming. And I'm talking to both brothers and sisters, man. Because when you think about, influencers or anybody online that's putting out a message, that's putting out, some kind of content that's guiding people in a certain direction, you have to understand, man, that what we have today, man, we have a lot of brothers that are speaking truths, right? A lot of brothers are preaching, hey, go your own way and conquer the world and do this. A lot of brothers are saying, hey, leave women alone and just move in this energy. But no one's talking about the next phase. No one's really looking at the writing on the wall, brothers. Sisters are doing the same thing. Sisters are sitting there saying, you know what? Be boss chicks, be independent, travel and see the world, do all this extra stuff. But nobody's talking about what the next chapter is going to be like. No one's talking about what winter is looking like. And when I talk about winter, I'm not talking about the next few months. I'm talking about the next phases of life. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's talking about that, brothers. But I'm telling you, I can see the writing on the wall, man. And a lot of people aren't really talking about that. This is what I'm saying, brothers. I had my ex-wife, right? I was married several years ago. My wife had an aunt. Aunt Mary was her name, man. She lived in North Texas. Man, Aunt Mary, bro, was one of the sweetest people I've ever met. We would go over her house maybe on some holidays, Thanksgiving or Christmas or just random times of the year. And, bro, I can remember going into Aunt Mary's house. And like I said, she was the sweetest person. Man, she always had all the foods cooked. She always had, man, a variety of desserts. It was just so much love coming from her house. Man, I loved going over there, brothers. But looking back, some years later, man, I understood that there was a vibe about Mary's house, man, that I couldn't really put a finger on. I couldn't really understand that with all this love coming, like, what is this energy I'm feeling? And brother, this energy that I felt was coldness. It was a coldness, man. It was winter, bro. Because Aunt Mary, man, as long as I had known her, she was a single woman. And when I think about Aunt Mary's home, brother, it was full of arts and craft. Like she was hobbied out. She had wreaths on the wall. She had dolls that she had made on the wall. She had, all these kind of things. She had pets. But brother, it was still this cold energy. And I don't think a lot of people understand what the next phase of life is looking like. You know what I'm saying? We talk about all these fabulous things on how men and women should move. We aren't really thinking about this, man. A lot of women have absolutely no clue what's coming their way. I was watching a few videos, this might have been yesterday, and they were talking about the percentages of women being single by the year of, I think, 2030, which is 8 years from now, 7.5 years from now. They were saying by the year 2030, I want to say they were saying either 65 or 70% of all women will be single. Like, we hear that stat now, and it's kind of like, but brother, you don't understand what's going to take place when that happens. Because you got to understand, like when I was young, younger, teens, 20s, whatever, all my aunts, all my uncles were married. Even when I was a lot younger, all the people in the neighborhood, men and women, they were all married, man. It was very rare to just see a woman living by herself. But when I think back to Aunt Mary, man, I was like, man, Aunt Mary was going through a thing. Mary was probably living some cold and lonely times. And in my mind, I think going forward, even now, but going forward to 6-7 years from now, brother, it's gonna be madness. Women are gonna, brother, it's gonna be a state of chaos. And I don't think a lot of these women that are moving the way they're moving are thinking about that. And I'm not even talking about women that are moving foul or moving reckless or being thotty. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about women that aren't really focused on, being wives and being in relationships. Women that are focused on the bag, they have no idea what's coming, man. They have absolutely no idea what's coming. And the thing is, a lot of these women have left good husbands. A lot of these women have left good relationships to jump back into this illusion of what happiness is for women. I'm telling you, bro, they've been set up for failure. I've seen women that have jumped out of marriages. They're back in these streets, brother, and all they're doing is, at this point in life, pouring out desperation, hoping that some man at some point comes through and swoops them up. But statistically, it's not happening, man. It's not happening, brothers. Sisters, I'm telling you, what you think these streets present or offer, it ain't what you think. I'm telling you, winter is coming. You're gonna have a whole lot of, man, I'm telling you this. You're gonna have a whole lot of women that are gonna be strung out on drugs. They're gonna be alcoholics. That are gonna be finding the tallest building in their city to jump off of in the next handful of years. Because you got to understand that when that boss fades, when that boss stage falls off, man, you're gonna have a lot of women buying tons of dog food, cat food, kitty litter. That's gonna be their life. That's gonna be a lonely place. And the thing is, nobody's talking about that. No, it's like nobody sees the writing on the wall, man. It's gonna be a dark place. It's gonna be a very dark society. I'm telling you, sisters, winter is coming. You have to start observing the writing on the wall. You have to start looking down the road and say, you know what? What is life going to be like in 10 years from now? 15 years from me? What is life going to be like? I'm telling you this. I even know women right now that are well-educated, well-traveled, beautiful, fine, sexy, nice wardrobes, can do all these things, and are miserable right now. Look on the ground. Look on the ground, man. Look at the looks in some of these women's eyes, man. Look past the lashes. Look past the trips. Look past the background. Look at her eyes, bro. A lot of these women are miserable. Look at women in their 50s right now. Look at women in their 60s right now that moved a certain way but are now just single and looking around and still sitting on an old bag. Brother, they are hating life. And I'm telling you, a lot of people, and the reason I'm saying this, man, because not a lot of people on the book Graham and Tube are saying this. Because a lot of people are saying, preaching a certain way, and I'm not saying there's wrong with that, but no one's looking toward the next phase. No one is talking about the winter. No one is talking about the next season of your life. And brothers, we aren't immune. I know we talk this whole high value thing, and it seems like we're immune to this, brothers, but we're not. We're not immune to it. The first thing that comes to my mind, man, is like, where did this whole, cool to have a rotation thing come into play? That's one thing to be in that energy when you're, in college or you're 25, 27 years old. But you would think that at some point in time, a grown ass man would start to understand life, will start to understand energy, will start to understand the concept of him walking in his I am and all that other stuff we talk about, and say, bro, that lifestyle doesn't benefit me. Even the men before us, man, we knew that Papa was a Rolling Stone. A lot of our fathers, a lot of our grandfathers, man, they were doing things they shouldn't have been doing. They were out creeping. They were out doing whatever. A lot of them were having children, in other parts of the globe that, nobody ever knew about. But at least these men had sense enough to say, you know what, let me at least have a foundation. You know what I'm saying? Let me at least have a home structure, a wife and kids, at least. Because I'm telling you, brothers, all that, that we fantasize about that we glorify about being high value men and getting the bag and being able to move a certain way and accumulate these things. Brother, that's good. But I'm telling you, brothers, I know men that are older than me, man, that are successful. I know men that are in their 50s, that are in their 60s, that are miserable, that once were the man, that once had a whole, collection of women they could have called up, brother. They are miserable now, man. And it's like, for some reason, I have the ability, I guess, I don't know, to see that and feel that, sense that, and say, you know what, brothers, like, why isn't anyone talking about this? We're talking about the now, but no one is talking about winter is coming, brothers. Of course, we should strive to be high value men, to be well traveled, to get cars and clothes and homes and whatever else you want to get, brothers. But I'm telling you, at some point in time, that stuff is not going to fit the bill. At some point in time, that's not going to do it, brothers. Like, for example, I've been to a few places on the globe. I've traveled to a few places. When I make, at some point, when I continue to make these rounds and see newer places, because every place I've gone overseas, every single place I've gone, Africa, whatever, I've always gone by myself. I was in a stage of finding myself. Let me get my bag right. Let me try to get my mentality right. Let me try to get my health better. Let me try to do me. That's where I was, brother. And I was exploding. I was doing great things. But now that I'm older and I'm getting ready to start making a lot of these trips again, going back to some of these places, going back to some of these new places, brother, I don't want to do that stuff by myself. Do you know it's fun to go and explore the world and do all that stuff, but at some point when you come home, you want to be able to share that with somebody. You want to be able to hold on to that experience with somebody, a sister, a young lady, right? Nobody's talking about that. Yeah, it's cool to get cars and do all these things, man. But when you driving from coast to coast, driving from Florida to California is cool, man. But doing that stuff solo, but there's only so much time that's going to be fun. At some point, you're going to want somebody besides you can share that with. At some point, you're going to want someone that you can have these experiences with that when you get older and you're in a rocking chair on the porch looking at kids and grandkids and great grandkids, God willing, you can still share those experiences about walking on the pyramids, about looking over the edge of Table Mountain. You want to share that with somebody, brothers. And again, nobody is talking about this stuff, man. Nobody is talking about the writing on the wall. Nobody is talking about winter is coming. You can sit here and pump alpha, chest, and all this stuff, and that you roll solo for so long, brothers. I'm gonna tell you, at some point in time, it's gonna get lonely. It's gonna get lonely, brother. And I'm gonna tell you this: I'm one of the most introverted people that I know. I can sit up in this house, I'm telling you, for several months at a time with no outside interaction. With no going out to dinners or movies. And I can do that for several months at a time. And even at some point in time, I'll sit here, bro, and I'll be like, damn, like shit, like some interaction, like having somebody to share some things with would be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like my son is 15. Next year he'll be 16. He'll be driving. He'll be going out about. In a couple more years, he'll be in college or whatever he decides to do. And I'll be sitting here in 4,000 square feet by myself. The thought of that over a long number of years, brother, I'm like, hell no. It's like, who wants to do that? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying, brother. Nobody's talking about winter is coming, brothers. Nobody is talking about winter is coming. But how do we get here, man? How do we get here? This is how we got here, brothers and sisters. The thing is, the reason why most people are moving in this single energy, this is my idea, my theory, right? Everybody is looking for that unicorn coming. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, if you have somebody in your life, if you're dating and someone is cool or whatever, it's like in the back of your mind, just due to social media, due to the internet, everybody is looking for that home run of a person. In other words, every woman is looking for the brother that's 6'12", that's making $450,000 a year, that has six-pack abs, that has 12 cars in the garage, that has a 10,000 square foot home on the beach, that's coming home every day and rubbing your back and massaging your feet and cooking you steak and shrimp in the evening. You know what I'm saying? That takes the best Instagram photos. Every woman is looking for that man. And I'm telling you, statistically, he doesn't exist. Every man is looking for the woman with the biggest booty, the cutest toes, the longest hair, the prettiest eyes, the perfect smile, that cooks the perfect dinner 7 days a week, that's giving him the best loving. And I'm telling you, that sister doesn't exist. And the reason I say they don't exist, what I'm saying is, there's always going to be a person that's finer than the one you have, that's sexier, that's taller, that's thicker, that's cuter than the person you're with. I'm talking to men and women. There's always going to be someone that's quote unquote better than what you have. At the same time, the person that you're with, they're going to have that same option. There's going to be other men in the world, brothers, that are taller than you, have more money than you, that can do all, cover X, Y, and Z that you don't have, that your girl is going to have the option to desire. And I was like, that's the thing that's going to really that's the thing that's going to have people suffering in the winter. Always looking for a unicorn that doesn't exist. Always looking for a unicorn that doesn't exist, man. But I'm telling you, winter is coming, and a lot of people don't understand how miserable it's going to be in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, rolling solo. Rolling solo, man. We have to do this. The thing is, man, we have to. The thing is this, brothers. We have to get to the point where we understand what it is when somebody is on our team. When we have to understand what true love is. There are a lot of you sisters out there that are giving brothers the Heisman, that would get with you, wife you, want to have kids with you, take care of your kids, put you in a position to say, you know what, if you want to be a housewife, and take care of you until death do y'all part. But since he isn't checking all these boxes, you're giving this brother the Heisman. I'm telling you, the brothers that y'all want are out there. They're in your DMs. You're crossing by them at the gas station every day. But since they're driving a Honda and not a Lambo, you don't even see them. But I'm telling you, winter is upon us. Brothers, we're doing the same thing, man. We got sisters, man, that would take care of us, cook for us, take care of our kids, take care of our homes while we're out on the grind. You know what I'm saying? But no, we want the sister we want the IG sister with no substance, but with a fat ass. Winter is upon us, brothers. Winter is upon us, sisters. I'm going to tell you this, man. Soul is not going to be on that boat, brothers, because I see the writing on the wall. I have the ability to get around people that shun people that were trying to, love them early in life, and now they're lonely, brothers. And I'm telling you, it is not a good vibe. And I'm telling you, the boss chick, I'm telling you, the illusional high value man, they aren't seeing the writing on the walls. We have to wake up, brothers. We have to wake up, sister. Winter is upon us.